What if we told you that you can have the love you want, but it requires three S's, and those three S's are important for you to live the life and have the relationship and have the love and marriage that you want. Stick to the end, and we'll discover what those three S's are.
Hey y'all. It's been a few, I don't know. It's been a while. But we're here, we're back, and we're ready to share. It's the PB&J show.
You
But
want to introduce who you are?
are we introducing every single episode?
I, mean, I think we should. I mean,
that is a
what
lot.
what if someone come in on this episode? We don't know. They don't know us. They may think I'm PB.
Well, I'm
they
gonna
may
tell
think
y'all.
you J.
By the 12th episode, I'm not introducing myself anymore. You can figure out who PB is. I'm Pilar Bell.
And I'm J.
What? Oh, I'm PB. I'm Pilar is the P. Bell is the B.
Yeah, and I'm J. Of course, Lester Bell Jr. Everybody calls me J. So today we're talking about teamwork, and teamwork is important, right?
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. So teamwork is everything in marriage. Would you say that teamwork is everything in marriage? Okay. So let's break this down. Let's really break this down today and kind of just talk about teamwork and why it's important for you and your spouse to be teammates as opposed to on opposite teams. And so first off, do you view us as a team?
Most of the time.
Most of the time?
Most of the time.
How many, like, what's the percentage wise?
60-40.
60-40?
Yeah.
60-40. Okay. I was more so thinking like 90% of the time we team.
Yeah.
Like
yeah, me too. I just said the 40 on the
83% of the
back
time.
end. So 60%, yeah.
60% of the time we are a team.
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about that. Why is it 60% of the time we're a team?
Because it's more than half, but it's less than all.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe 75, because at least that's a C. 60 is a D, so that's yeah.
Well, I mean,
so I'll go 75.
If you 7-point grading it, that's an F. 75.
Okay, Xavier. Always.
That's actually UM. They got a 7-point grading scale for this program.
Okay.
So I can't wait to 2026 to be
me too
over and graduate. I walk across this stage. So 75%. Okay. So what goes into that 75%?
I don't know what that question means. What do you mean? What goes into it?
Like why do you feel like it's 75%
How about you
of the time?
What are your numbers?
I mean, my number was like 90%.
Oh, well, that's good. How about you talk about 90 so I can understand? Because I don't really understand the question.
Yeah, well, I was saying like 90%. Like, there's a 90% chance that we are focusing on us being teammates as opposed to us not being teammates. Like, we are more so like focused on being a partnership.
Yeah.
Like, I talk to couples all the time, and it's always like my stuff, this mine, instead of like this is ours. And I feel like our lingo and the way we talk to each other, we kind of say it's ours as opposed to like mine. So that's what I was saying. Like, do we view each other? Like, what's the percentage on us viewing each other as a partner? Like, you said 60% and then it went up to 75%, but I said 90% because I always view you as a partner. I always view you as someone that I'm working with and someone that I'm not working against. Now, it hadn't always been like that, but ultimately, like, now I feel like I see you more so as a partner as opposed to someone who is opposing me or someone who's on the opposite team.
Yeah, I guess that's where we differ, because I don't think those are the only two options. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't have to be opposition to not be a partner. I think it's a lot of middle ground there. And I think in general, you tend to think in extremes, and I'm living in the gray, so our perspectives are always, very frequently different. Yeah, I don't ever really think that we view each other as opposition. That's not true. Sometimes we do. But I think mainly it's gray. So that 25% is full of gray for me. I don't necessarily feel like I'm ever not your partner, but I don't always feel like I am your partner. And that's what I'm saying. I don't ever feel like you're my opposition.
Yeah.
Not ever. Sometimes. But you know what I mean? But there's a lot of space for me where it's like, not your teammate, but not your opposition. That a lot of space to that 25%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So, okay, I understand that. That makes sense. So, with couples being partners, um, let's just kind of talk about what that looks like on a day-to-day basis. Like, what does it look like for me? Because I'm actually, it's kind of interview for me too. What does it look like for me to be your partner, for you to be your softer self? Because I know that's a conversation that we've had in the past about, me stepping up and doing more in the house and making you, feel a little bit more softer in your approach towards me and your approach towards intimacy, all of that. Like, what does it look like? And maybe we can kind of exert.
I don't know where we're going.
Maybe we can try to take some principles out of that and kind of help people to apply to their marriage so that it can be, because everybody's story is different. Our story is a whole lot different than a lot of other people's story. And we have to understand that. You have to understand that as well, that your story is different from our story. However, there are principles that you can take from our story, from our experience, that really you can apply to your life. And you always want to, whenever you're watching a podcast, anything, just some free game, you always want to take, break in what you can use, pitch out what you can't use. That's what my dad used to say. Bring a rake and a pitchfork with you to church. Rake in what you can use, pitch out what you can't use. And so our whole meaning of the PB&J show is to give you things by our story, by our experience, by our clinical nature as well, that you can apply to your marriage. So with all that being said, what does it look like on a day-to-day basis of me helping you, or of us partnering together so that you can feel like you're not alone in our marriage?
I don't know. I can't answer that now because of what our schedules look like. So I don't.
We could talk about
I think
that.
we have maximized whatever the options are for now. So, what I can say, like, I'll just talk about what the future could look like. Like, after we're not rotating 5 different things that have to be done in a day. Maybe I'm not about to answer this good. I don't think I'm about to answer this good.
Why not?
I'm just going to say ideally, because I can't name a bunch of tasks, because I think it's a heart posture for me, and that creates the task part.
So let's talk heart posture then. So, what's the heart posture towards them?
Okay, so it goes back to the whole partnership conversation. Like, what does that really mean? And I think the difference isn't how we grow up and our expectations play into what it means to be a partner. Mm-hmm. And also cultural norms, because I think that's a major part that all of us are forced to live with and figure out how to adjust to. So, like, being a woman, period, means that I'm just supposed to be more responsible. What?
Nothing. You said woman, period. Never mind.
What, is that a thing?
It is. I mean, every woman has.
Oh, okay.
The way you put it together, it just made that click in my mind. Like, oh, are we going there?
I wasn't. Okay. I'm just saying.
I was just wondering, because I was just like, oh,
I'm just
Lord.
saying, being a woman in America means being tasked with, or it's being assumed that I'm the person who is responsible for our kid, and I'm the person who's responsible for our home. Mm-hmm. And unfortunately, in a world where I also have to be a person who is partially responsible for our home finances, mm-hmm. the whole concept of me being a financial contributor and being the house manager and being the oh my goodness. Okay.
It's just the AC.
And being the chief person to monitor our child and make sure he's okay just is an imbalance that I think we all toggle with, especially like people who are adults that are millennials or mm-hmm. Gen X, or even because Alpha is after millennial.
Alpha is trip.
So Z is between.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Z gonna do whatever they want to do, which I applaud. Do your thing.
Alpha is too.
Yeah, but Z are adults now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think just learning how to figure out what's going to be the norm for your house? So I'm not answering this well because I think it's different. I think it's different for everybody. And I think it's different for us depending upon phases. For me, it's just about a heart posture. Like, one conversation we keep having is like, if you come home from all the many things you have to do, and, you know, I have also worked, but I also had to house manage and also had to parent. Like, I get that you had a long day, but remember that I also had a long day. Mm-hmm. And that is important to me because for me, having to manage the home and having to manage the kid and also having to work in the same day is just as important as whatever you had to do in the day. So the idea of how do I serve now and not how do I serve in the future after all this is finished kind of changes that for me. So I don't have a bunch of tasks that needs to be done. It's more so I don't come in and just assume that now I get to stop because I've done all the things I have to do.
Yeah. So it sounds like you're talking about traditional gender roles then, right?
No, I'm just saying we tend to fall into them.
Yeah.
But I don't really accept that as the way that I feel like my life needs to be. Mm-hmm. But it seems like TV. Mm-hmm. Well, no, because TV would not have the woman going to work. So, yeah. Maybe the Huxtables. But Heathcliff was in that kitchen. So. Yeah.
I'm in the kitchen, too. Am I not in the kitchen?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I'm just saying that was the most traditional, non-traditional that I could.
Hey, what's up, fam? Thank you for tuning in to this episode. Just taking a little break here. Did you know that 62% of you who are watching this video right now are not subscribed? So if you can do us a favor, hit the subscribe button. We would greatly appreciate it and continue to help us push out this value to people and to marriages and to single people and to people in relationships. And listen, we want to continue to do that because we want to provide value for you in this walk of life. So if you are part of that 62%, go ahead, hit that subscribe button. Let's get back into the episode. So ultimately what we're saying is, like, don't allow yourself to fall into the traditional roles if that does not work for you, because the traditional roles really hadn't worked for us. Like, I think ultimately you have to have the emotional intelligence enough to know, okay, my spouse needs help with the kids, like overstimulated. I think we talked about this idea. I don't know if we talked about it on air or off air, babe, but we talked about the idea of getting you like an overstimulated shirt. Mm-hmm. Of like when you're overstimulated and knowing like when you put that shirt on, like, yeah, that's good. That's great. However, I think there's some emotional awareness that needs to come in play for me too. Like, not just saying like for you, but for me too. Like, there's some emotional awareness that needs to come into play that says, okay, this person has done this all day long. They've seen clients. Then they come home and Trip requires 1,000% of your energy, even if you have 0% of energy left. And so I think for me, one of the things that I've had to do is recognize that you were tired and try to occupy Trip from calling out your name, mommy, 20 million times. Perfect example. Yesterday, you had to come home and use the bathroom. And Trip was trying to run back there to ask you something. I was like, hey, Trip, I'm right here. Let mommy use the bathroom in peace. And he understood it. And he stayed up there with me and ended up asking me the question instead of coming back there to ask you the question. So it's like little moments like that. I think overall, like if the heart posture is like, she the mama, she's supposed to handle it, or he the daddy, he's supposed to handle it, I think that's the wrong kind of heart posture to have. I think the heart posture to have is, hey, let me step in, help my spouse in this, so they won't be too overstimulated, because that overstimulation actually affects intimacy. It affects other things as well. So like we have to be emotionally aware enough to say, hey, let me step in, help my spouse. I know they've been doing this all day. Like I know some of the things you'll do, like if I have Trip for like multiple hours, you'll say, hey, do you need a break? Or hey, do you need to decompress or something like that? Because Trip is constantly asking questions. He's constantly wanting to play. And then you'll come in and say, hey, do you need to do this? Most times I'll say I'm good, but sometimes I will steal away and go to the bathroom for a few minutes. But I just
being the thing that we just need to do.
I think so. I think that's gonna be the breakaway. Like that's the cheat code, because it's just like our son. We love him. Listen, we're not saying we don't love our son. he just requires a lot of energy, and I'm pretty sure your kids are like that too if you have kids.
You were smart and had multiple children,
Yeah,
probably back to back, which we did not do.
yeah.
So
So
we have a little star, and he knows he's a
superstar,
star.
superstar trip. So yeah. So let's talk about this then.
Wait, you didn't answer your own question.
I did. What was my
What was
question?
the question?
I don't know.
90%.
Oh, why is it 90% for
Yeah.
me? Because I guess the way I looked at the question is the way I framed it in my mind is like I'm always viewing you as a
Oh,
partner.
okay.
Like I said 90% because I didn't want to like say 100%. That's kind of like maybe a little bit unrealistic. 90% may be a little bit unrealistic too, but I'm always seeing you as my partner. Like I don't now I did not always used to see you as my partner.
I'm not going to talk about the past.
You want to?
No,
It's all
I
you.
don't.
Oh, okay.
I don't want to talk about the past. I don't live there anymore. So that's not at
Good.
the forefront of my mind.
Good.
I'm more so of want to talk about probably how we see partnership, which
Okay.
I think is maybe the overarching conversation here of growing up perspective. So we grew up very differently. Like my folks that I grew up with, like, are natural doers. Most one sided for sure. The Bell sisters, they are natural doers, right? They are like worker bees. But I think that's the difference too, because like I grew up as a server, and you grew up being served. Yeah,
I wouldn't
it's
say that, but you can say that.
yeah. So if we look at our home structure and in the church structure, our positions of how life happened were different. Not saying that one is wrong or one is not wrong. I just think those are facts. So for you, it's probably easier to feel like you're in a partnership than it would be for me, because like I've been trained to be a mover, doer, tasker, goer, fixer, that kind of thing. And I'm not saying that you hadn't been trained to be a mover, fixer, but I am saying that you have a different expectation about how other people should show up for you than I do. So it probably is framed different for us because partnership expectations are different. So that could change how, like, why I would put us at 75 and why you would put us at 90. That's all.
Okay.
Just adding that.
Yeah, I mean, I understand what you're saying about growing up differently. I understand that, like, yes, I was served. Yes, people did look out for me in certain ways. However, I do feel like serving for me was just a little bit different.
Yeah, I agree.
Like I did serve. Like I did. Like there's a. I talked about.
Remember, I ain't talking extremes here.
I know we're not talking about extremes, but I'm just
Okay.
saying, I just want to clear it up for you. I feel like sometimes you kind of see like just a part of me, but there was another part of me that was the one sweeping the sidewalk, was the one picking up the trash, was the one carrying the Bible, was the one getting the water, was the one making sure everything was good, sound wise. Like
I didn't say you didn't do things.
I know you didn't say I didn't do things, but I'm just saying I just want to clear that up. Like
I mean, I'm not talking about church.
No, I'm
tasking.
I'm just saying. I think I feel like I know what you kind of leaning towards, like the people ironing my clothes and things like that. Like that was only up until a certain point, until I could learn how to iron clothes.
Okay.
So yeah, I understand what you're saying, but that's just you only see it kind of just like from one side. But
I don't know that I see it from one side, but
okay,
we can move on.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's end it with this then. Why is it important to serve your spouse? Why is it important to serve your spouse? And one thing I will say recently that I've been trying to work on is I saw this video, this pastor, and he was saying like the man should outserve his spouse, outserve his wife, and not like in a competition way, like, but like outserve the spouse. Like the heart posture should be, I am going to work on outserving you and doing what I can to serve you, to love you as Christ loves the church. So that's one of the things I kind of been working on lately and trying to like be better in serving you, serving your needs, and doing the things that bring you fulfillment And so I just want to encourage men, like, serve your wife, like, outserve your wife, because when you serve your wife, you're serving God. Because God is the one who blessed you with your spouse. So you should be the one to serve your spouse. Like, you shouldn't wait for her to serve you. You should be the one to serve your spouse. And that's one of the things I've been working on lately. Not saying I'm 100% perfect in it, but that's just one of the things I've been trying to work on lately. Inwardly is like, how can I better serve Pilar? How can I better serve her? Like, what can I do to make her life more fulfilling, more fruitful, more fun? So yeah. So why is it important? Why is it important to serve your spouse?
I think God created us all to be servers. And I am fully of the belief that marriage is a form of the process of sanctification. The idea of God making earth, making all these things, and watching it go the way it wasn't supposed to go, and then giving his son to down the cross for us was an example of fervent sacrifice.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe that marriage is constant sacrificial behavior.
Mm-hmm.
So in that sacrifice creates servanthood. I think that's important as Christians to learn how to actively choose to put yourself down,
Mm-hmm.
and to see your fellow as someone who deserves that level of sacrifice. Now, I'm not saying deny self-care or not do things that you should be doing to be a better person or keep yourself safe at the minimum. I am saying that if you choose to be married, you're choosing to say that not all my needs are the most important needs, and not all my wants are the most important wants, while also figuring out how to still maintain you while being in a couple.
Okay. So your S sounds like sacrifice. Serving requires sacrifice. I'm going to throw this one in. Serving requires selflessness. Because you have to learn to put your selfish needs to the side. Because we are all, by nature, selfish. So being married, that is a constant sacrifice of that selfishness for selflessness. Like, you have to learn to not be in your feelings about a certain thing. You have to learn to not be frustrated about a certain thing. You have to learn to not saying that your feelings are invalid, but ultimately you have to learn to say, okay, how can I be selfless in this? How can I be selfless with my spouse? I want something, I need something, but my spouse says she's tired. I'm not going to belabor the fact. I'm not going to force the issue. Like, rest is needed. So I'm going to put myself to the side and take a selfless act of saying, okay, rest is needed. So serving requires sacrifice. It requires selflessness. What else does it require?
I don't know. I can't.
You can't think
I
of an
can't
S?
yeah, I can't go that fast in the
Okay.
thinking.
So I'm going to say serving requires sacrifice. Serving requires selflessness. And serving requires, I'm trying to think of the right S word here. There's so many that are
Well, I
flowing to my
used
mind.
sanctification earlier, and I think true servanthood comes through sanctification. So
Okay.
I'm gonna pin that one there.
All right. Well, let's say
Yeah.
why does true servanthood come with sanctification?
Require sanctification
Yeah.
because I don't know that you can love purely without loving God. I mean, I do know that. I know that you can't love purely without loving God. So, if you love God, then you believe His word,
Mm-hmm.
and a part of believing His word is believing the sanctification process. So, I think that we become better servants when we actually submit. Maybe submit is the word too. Submit our wills to God, and that creates all the rest.
Yeah. Hey, what's up, fam? Thank you for tuning in to this episode. Just taking a little break here. Did you know that 62% of you who are watching this video right now are not subscribed? So if you can do us a favor, hit the subscribe button. We would greatly appreciate it, and continue to help us push out this value to people and to marriages and to single people and to people in relationships. And listen, we want to continue to do that because we want to provide value for you in this walk of life. So if you were part of that 62%, go ahead, hit that subscribe button. Let's get back into the episode. Sorry, I had to put that break in there. So cool. So serving requires sacrifice, it requires selflessness, and it requires sanctification. So listen, we just want to say thank you for joining us on this episode of the PB&J show. Listen, our prayer is that this just helps one couple to be better. And so if you'll do us a favor, if you'll like, share, and subscribe to this channel, we will definitely appreciate that as we continue to grow and as we continue to encourage marriages to be better. So once again, thank y'all for joining us on this episode. And you're not gonna do it?
Yeah, I didn't know if you were finished.
Oh, okay. I was waiting for you to.
You were talking.
I thought you was gonna jump in. So I'll try
it's the PB&J show.
See y'all.